Alright, this is a random battle I had with a passerby. I just wanted to test out 2 new Pokemon that I have on my team. So I just challenged Alex, and he accepted the battle. So that's really all I like to say for it. So he leads with his shiny Mewtwo, which I wasn't very sure what he was going to start off with, but he decided to go off with that. I decided to go off with my new Pokemon, my shiny Porygon Z. I love the way this Pokemon looks. Something about it's awesome. So he goes for a poison jab. I thought that was kind of weird to have on a Mewtwo, but it does good amount of damage. And I go for a nasty crotch with my special attack. And he goes for a flamethrower, which is kind of another weird move to see on Mewtwo for me. But it does good damage and gets a burn off of me, which really sucks. I go for my tri-attack, and I take him out in 1 hit. It's just an insane amount of damage from that tri-attack with that adaptability. So I do get burned, and it almost takes me out. And he decides to go into his Pikachu, his shiny Pikachu. I wasn't very sure if I was going to be able to outspeed him or not, since we both have the same base stat speed. But he does, and goes for a Volt Tackle and takes me out. There's not really much I could have done, even if I didn't think it didn't take me out. I just would have hoped that it was a tri-attack would take him out. But I would have died from the burn anyway. I started going to Swampert, or I have immunity to the electricity. And I go for an Earthquake, that way I have super effectiveness on him, but he switches into his Lapras. It does good damage, but it's not as much damage as I wanted it to do, like to that Pikachu. And he has leftovers, so he gets healed a little bit there. And he goes for an Ice Beam, which did a lot more damage than I thought it would do. Good, really good damage. I go for a Hammer On, but I miss. And he gets his leftovers up again, so sucked. I didn't really know what happened there. I didn't think, I thought that I did hit or something, just didn't do damage or something about it. But he uses Surf, and it does another lot of damage that surprised me. I go for a Hammer On to get the super effectiveness on him, and it barely survives, and my speed falls. So I decided to switch into my Scolipede. That way I could have a stab move on him that I was sure that would take him out, and I wanted to save Swampert just in case I move him again. So he goes for another Ice Beam, which does, again, a lot of damage. And I go for a Poison Jab, that way I could have the stab after my Black Sludge heals and his leftovers. I needed the Poison Jab to kill him because of the stab. So he's out. And he decides to go into his Charizard, which I knew he was going to use a Fire-type move and take out my Scolipede, but I knew I was faster because of the speed boost. So I decided to just keep him in and go for a Poison Jab anyway, so I can do some damage on him. And it does good damage on him, actually. And I get a Poison. So that was good. And he does use a Flamethrower like I thought, but it's okay. I wasn't really worried about it. I didn't think I would need to Scolipede again for this battle, so I was okay with letting him think. He gets hurt by the poison, brings him to about half health, I would think. Yeah, about half health. I go into Swampert, so I can have super effectiveness on him. He uses Fly, so my Hydro Pump missed. And he uses Fly, and luckily Swampert does survive, but just barely, with 2 HP. I go for Hydro Pump, and luckily it hits, because if it didn't hit, I was definitely going to have the next turn. So with him being out, I decided to switch Swampert out when he brought in his Lucario. Don't really know why. It was only 2 HP on my Swampert, so he wasn't going to be able to do anything with me, because I know he wasn't going to outspeed anything. But I just guess I just didn't want my Pokemon to faint. He uses Flash Cannon. I thought he would use a fighting move, that's why I switched into Togekiss. But I do survive it, so I'm not worried about it. My leftovers gets me up to 103, and he switches out his Lucario. I decided to go with an Aurora Sphere, that way I would have had the super effectiveness on him, but he goes into Pikachu. So it does good damage, but not what I wanted it to do. again, I wasn't sure if I would outspeed him or not. I'm not actually sure what Togekiss's base speed is. So he goes for a Volt Tackle, which does take out my Togekiss because of that super effectiveness. But I wasn't sure who was going to go first, so I kept him in. And he got a critical on that, so that helped him. He does get damaged by recoil, and his Pikachu has a little bit of health left. I started going to Swampert. I knew I wasn't gonna outspeed him, so I knew I was gonna be taken out. And he has Grass Knot, so I'm actually confused why he didn't take out my Swampert from the first time I sent him out. Because that would have been probably a one-hit KO because it's 4 times the effectiveness. And here's my other new Pokemon, my shiny Dragonite. I go for Extreme Speed, that way I can have priority over him. I wasn't sure if he was gonna be faster than Dragonite or not. Probably wouldn't have, but just to be on the safe side, I decided to go for Extreme Speed. He sends out his Umbreon, the shiny Umbreon. And I decided to go for Dragon Dance because I know Umbreon is really bulky, so I wanted to have some plus attack on him, on my Dragonite, that is. My speed raises too, but I was already going to be faster than him. He used Hidden Power. I'm not sure what it was, but it did neutral damage, whatever his Hidden Power was. My leftovers brings me up a little bit. And I go for another Dragon Dance, have 2+. Well, 2+ on speed and attack. So I'll be outspeeding anything he has and have a good attack stat with 2+. He goes for a Psychic, which does a pretty good amount of damage, but that was with a crit. My leftover shows me a little bit, and I decided to go for a Dragon Claw. He barely survives. I'm not sure how much health he has, probably about 1 health, 2 health. Somewhere around there. He goes for a Shadow Ball. It does an okay amount of damage. Lowers my special defense, so that's bad. My leftovers heals me a little bit, probably about half of what he did there. I go for Extreme Speed, just because I don't need to use another Dragon Claw. Because I needed Extreme Speed by itself would have taken it out, with him being around 1 health or something. I get my leftovers again. So I'm pretty good on health there. He goes into his Lucario, and I decided to go for a Fire Punch that way I have super effectiveness on him still. That takes him out because that 2+, and Dragonite is a physical attacker. So I defeat him after that battle, after that turn. I thought it was a pretty good battle. So again, if there's anything y'all can help me on with my commentary, I'd really appreciate it. So yeah, see you guys next time.